Hey everyone, it's Jakov, and I'm back again today with another video for Total War The Dawnless Days, today's video being a battle replay between me and the PC. In today's battle replay, I'm going to be leading an army of Erebor, specifically a tier 3, very professional force, in the map of Barazimbar, hoping to retake part of Moria from the Goblins, who are fielding an equivalent strength horde. This is kind of like a retaking video, so imagine it as the dwarves doing their best to recapture Moria after it fell into the hands of the orcs. Kind of similar to what happened in the books with Balin's expedition, but maybe this is later on, when they don't have to worry about the threat of a Balrog destroying all of their hopes and ambitions. If you don't know, Dawnless Days is a mod for Total War Attila, set in the third age of Middle-earth. Absolutely primo mod. I will have it linked in the description, of course, and I do encourage you to play. This video in particular, as I said, it is a battle replay between me and the computer, and it's designed to kind of show off different strategies you can employ in different types of armies that you could be expected to face and build at different points in the game. That's why this is very much a professional force for later on armies, going against an equivalent strength foe, more or less. And again, because it is a computer that I'm playing off against, don't exactly expect it to pull out like the best strategies either. Don't expect me to either in this case. So we're going to put the battle into slow motion, and we're going to check out both forces. Looking at the stats, the Dwarven force is smaller, just under 1200 to almost 1900 orcs, or goblins in this case. So looking at the... wow, the map is flickering like crazy. Looking at the front, we've got a couple of units of the Erebor Axe Warriors. These are the heavy professional warriors of the faction. Absolutely solid on the battlefield. Behind them, we've got a couple of units of the Mattock Warriors. Another great unit, love their look. Shock infantry, so these guys can tear through formations pretty quickly. Then behind them we've got two units of the Erebor Spear Guards. It kind of goes to show that this is very much a Erebor sponsored mission, as opposed to the Ragtag Balin's expedition. And then behind them we've got the Dwarven Guard, which is the general unit, so heavy shock infantry. Behind them we've got two units of the crossbowmen. They're getting ready to advance, but instead the goblins have absolutely exploded out of their walls instead of going on the defensive, and goblin spear warriors are storming through. Put the bat into slow motion, speed, and there we've got it, a clash. And more of them are just massing out. Behind them we've got mountain trolls, a bit of extra muscle for the goblins, and there we've got the goblin general, got the chieftain's guard storming out. You can hear the sound of the elephants from the mountain trolls, and it's been joined. Shock infantry goes running in, it's absolutely smashing into the general unit. Spear guard are deploying slowly, and it's just mayhem. I love the juxtaposition of the colours, with the shiny silver and red of the dwarves of Erebor, and the dull grey with a mixing of bronze for the goblins. Now looking at my force, the crossbowmen are in the rear. Some spearmen were able, spear warriors able to break out, swing around. So looking at it, the map is just glitching out like crazy. Goblins are engaged by the Erebor warriors, and by doing this, the orcs are really messed up. At the back here, we actually see the Mordor Urks, a unique shock infantry unit exclusive to this faction, and then pulling through over the top of the map. Still glitching out and opening fire. We've got the Goblin Heavy Archers, so they too also have their forces in reserve. Personally, I would not have done this. I wouldn't have thrown all my forces out like that. I would have tried to hold the position here, but it seems that was not to be the case. And already the Goblins are falling back, some of them are pushed back, and the skirmishers are running around the side, getting ready to open fire. And yep, they're just opening fire on the mountain trolls, which is good. You want to slaughter these guys first before they can do damage to the main core of the army. Trolls of any kind are quite destructive. Again, you can hear more of the elephant sound. You can see how they're a little, like the movement cycle is a bit stiff, and that's because it's had to be built up entirely off the ground by the modders. The ground is absolutely covered by this point. The dwarves are doing their best to take Erebor. I just Jesus. This is amazing to look at. Imagine if they ever made a Lord of the Rings movie that showed stuff like this. That I would be very happy to see. By the way, people, I want to know, what are your thoughts on the Rings of Power? Are you enjoying it or not? As a Lord of the Rings fan, can't say I'm too overly enthused about it, especially when it comes to the lore changes, which are quite a bit egregious in my opinion. Surprisingly, House of the Dragon, despite its lore changes, is something I'm really enjoying. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments of both of those shows. Overall, I'm enjoying them, but I'm enjoying one massively more than the other, if I'm quite honest. And with all these salvos, the mountain trolls are broken before they could do too much damage. And now the crossbowmen are free to just open fire straight into the flank of the goblins, where they're least expected. This is something you always want to do. This is point blank range you're going to get shot into. It's literally just a shooting gallery. You may as well be shooting fish in a barrel at this point. Mortal orcs are pretty brutal though, carving a path through the Madoc warriors. Spear guards are deployed, doing their best to hold the line, intermixing with the shock infantry, trying to cut down as many as possible and just letting the crossbowmen do what they do. Just this constant streaming out of forces, just bunching them up like this is one of the worst things you can do. Never bunch up your forces like this. Their general unit, the High Chieftain's Guard, is getting hammered, literally, by their dwarves. Let's see if we can find their general, actually. More forces retreat, looking at the balance of power. The men of the dwarves have only lost 200. The goblins have lost 600, approaching 700. It's a good exchange rate as far as I'm concerned. There he goes. Down. The speed here seems a little bit weird to me while you're running so fast. Like it's on normal speed, but both sides seem to be moving just a little bit too fast for my liking. Crossbowmen are still opening fire. And they're now being hit from above by the enemy archers. However, at this point it's worth it just to shoot at these guys. Again, crossbows can only really shoot straight, like arcing shots like what the bowmen are doing, these guys can't really handle. And at this point they've kind of already more than made themselves valuable in killing the mountain trolls who are just skidding around the battlefield. Still the goblins pour out, and still the goblins are getting mocked. I really wish the bodies were interactive in this. Like you could see troops fighting on top of corpses. Like my ultimate wish is like in 20, 30 years they make a total war where every single individual unit, like every character that you see on screen, has their own miniature AI kind of, that gives it a bit more independence in regards to the battle. That'd be so cool to see be implemented. Which brings to mind the question then, is that how civilization gets brought down? Someone develops too powerful of an AI just for the sake of gaming and it ends up becoming Skynet. Interesting musings. Dwarven units are beginning to tire somewhat, but even so they're still doing a good job. Big surges launched, and At this point I was quite sloppy. I could have brought them around here to hit him in the flank instead of in a frontal assault. So right now I'm actually committing a cardinal sin I mentioned, bunching up too much. Actually, I don't think you can enter these for some reason. Like, I think. Oh no, you can, I'm pretty sure, because otherwise how could you not reach this capture point? So yeah, just the pathfinding's a bit crappy. And the battle's over. So while I was commenting on crappy pathfinding. A heroic victory for the Dwarves of Erebor. I'd certainly say so. In a match between two professional forces that you could commonly be expected to face off against, they slaughtered the Goblins. We're going to end the replay and we'll check out both armies to see how they did. Looking at the Erebor force, they lost under 350, whereas the Goblins lost over 1200. Looking at the Erebor units, the Baruch Guard, 78 kills, pretty good. Didn't suffer too many casualties, 173 kills for one Maddock Warrior and 151 for the other, and they both survived it, even if they took grievous casualties, pretty good. 128 for these Axe Warriors, very good. 255 for these guys is amazing, and even though they suffered casualties, they weren't quite as bad as the Maddock Warriors. Then 110 for the Erebor Axe Warriors, pretty damn good. 101 for the Spear Guard and 35 for the Spear Guard. Even 101 kills for a Spear unit is fantastic, given they're designed to hold ground and not really kill the enemy. And then the Crossbowmen, 78 and 84 apiece, which is fairly good, and including the fact that they killed the Trolls. It's great. Turning to the Goblin units, here they did a bit, honestly, did quite poorly. Their High Chieftain's Guard, the general unit, only got 22 kills. It's pretty poor. 32 kills, 22 kills, 27 kills, and 17 kills by the Goblin Blade Warriors. Their professional infantry, that's very poor. 35 kills by their shock infantry, the Mordor Uruks, pretty bad. 34 kills, 10 kills by the Goblin Spear Warriors, abysmal. 53 kills and 75 kills by the Goblin Heavy Archers. It's actually not bad, given that they didn't really engage the force that much, and the reason why they really didn't get much of a chance to fight is that the battle ended and they broke. So had they been around to engage longer, the battle gone on longer, they would have gotten way more kills. And then the Mountain Trolls, 17 kills, although that could have been much, much worse had they been allowed to run rampant. Again, you've got to pick your targets well and neutralize enemy threats, and those were by far the biggest threat that the Goblins could field in this battle. Overall, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this battle replay. I know I really enjoyed playing it when I played it ages ago, I will admit. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I know it might not seem like much to you guys, but it really does mean the world to me. If you want to send in any battle replays for me to cover, send them either to my Gmail, which is linked in the channel description, my email address, or send them to me over Discord, be it the Dawnless Discord server or the Last Alliance Discord server, or any other Discord server, at least that I'm part of. This is your host, Jakov, signing out.